Hey, what up, homies? It's your man's Coach SMETA. I'm coming to you live from my PS3. We're on College Hoops 2K8, and I'm just going to make this video that I thought existed. I assumed someone had touched on this. Apparently, this is not the common knowledge that I thought it would be. So, a little history on myself. I was 16 years old. It's 2004, 2005. I take my little check from Sonic. I go buy ESPN College Hoops 2K5 and NBA 2K5 on the original Xbox. So I've been playing the game. There's a legacy mode, there's a open coach mode, and I find out that when you go to this mode, hold on. First, I got to show you the rosters I'm playing with. These are updated named rosters. You'll notice some of the names. Courtney Lee's, Heitfeld. You know, if you know college basketball, you've seen some of the names. That's important because when you go to Legacy, you go to Open Legacy, you can choose any coach you want, any team in the country. You can edit them. I'll show you. I can show you better than I can tell you because I'm not doing this on a script. So when you go to Open, you can choose whatever team you want. You can go be North Carolina. You can take Roy Williams. He's 55 years old. You can mess with all this, right? But when you select New Career Legacy, now you got to create your coach. You know what I'm saying? You can start off, the youngest you can be is 25 years old. You choose, I usually choose charisma because I'm going to need to recruit. And then you have a list of schools that you can choose from. Now, I've been playing this game, like I said, since 2K5. I had 2K5, I got 2K7, and I got 2K8. I know schools like Jackson State, Western Illinois. I usually just chose the team based on their uniform. So, like Grambling, or a school that was close to where I live, which is in the DFW in Texas, essentially Dallas. So Texas Southern, Texas State. But there were certain schools I really wanted that I learned that you couldn't use. Like, I wanted to use the University of North Texas. You absolutely cannot choose them. You cannot choose a school from a bigger conference and move them down. You're always gonna have to choose. It's a set number of schools. Like example, Gardner-Webb. I don't see Gardner-Webb. Do I see Gardner? Is Gardner-Webb on here? Gardner-Webb. They're not on this list. I know you can use them. Radford was a school I used because I wanted to create Steph Curry, but you can't use Davidson even though they're in a small conference, which is the Southern. So I would go to pick Radford. I'd create Steph Curry on the roster, and I would use them. I'll show you how to do that as well. But basically, there's a set number of these small schools that you can use. You guys know that part. I'm about to show you the part you don't know. All right, so the part you don't know is when you go to the small conferences and you start looking around the schools. A lot of these schools that you can pick, they're in the 60. Their overalls are in the 60s. Some of them are even in the 50s. Those poor schools. But that kind of determines what schools are available to you. Long Island, that's a school you can choose. Now, I mentioned, go over here to UT Arlington. Their overalls is 72. I like their color scheme. It's red, it's white, it's blue. I like the jerseys. I'm just like, yo, I want to run with them. Another one was where they at? Gardner-Webb. I don't remember what conference they're in. And then I liked Columbia. Now, Columbia, normally when you boot up the rosters, you can't use them. Here you can, just because the rosters have all been updated, the rotations have all been updated, so on and so forth. But there were certain schools I really liked. VMI. I like VMI. You can't use them because their overall is too high. So this is how you allow yourself to use them. Now remember, UT Arlington was not on that list. How do you get them on the list? Go to rotations. Any team you can test this. I'm not going to do a video making a list of every single team you can use. But the thing you want to do, go to rotations, make sure the worst 8 players, it doesn't really matter where, are in the rotation. Just remove all the good players, get all the bad players in the rotation, which is normally the top 8 guys. Once you get past the top 8, you're pretty good. Just make sure that the top 8 guys are your worst players. And then wherever you got to use minutes, it doesn't matter. The minutes don't matter as long as. All right. Why is it auto saving? I'll go back and edit that. I turned auto save off. This is slowing me down, but whatever. All right, so then you go to quick game. Now you'll see UT Arlington, they're a 58 overall. Why is that important? Because now, when I go to open legacy, all right, I don't know. I don't care about that stuff right now. And I create my coach. I give him, you know, now UT Arlington is available because they're one of the teams that the game decides, okay, you can use this school. And if their overall is low enough, you can then choose the school, right? So at first, you can't use them. They're too good. But once you lower the overall, now you can use them. But this is where it gets interesting. All right, so now this time, I went back to UTA, and I just went in to the guys, and I selected a random, either, you know, shoot first, like for the point guards, shoot first, distributor, defense. So their overalls are much higher now, right? So now I can do the same thing. You know, I just replace those guys. Like, you'll see, I got an 80 overall guy now. You're just replacing them with the 8 worst players on your team. Just showing you guys I can do this. And then place the minutes. All right, okay. Once again, you always want to double check your overall. Always want to double check the overall. Because if you see they're getting them to a 58, now they're a 56 overall team, but they're not really a 56 overall team. So now, same thing. Go over to legacy mode, career legacy. Same deal. Scroll down. UT Arlington is still choosable. So I can go in with this UT Arlington, get into the season, change my rotations. Now I have a better team. Now you've got all kinds of ways to use this. Me personally, I use this to essentially bring in my first recruiting class immediately. But, you know, I'm not going to play with all 99s. I usually make them 2-3 star guys, 71, you know, 70 overall type guys who are going to play the full 4 years. But I want that first recruiting class normally to be, you know, a little stronger. Then as I go into recruiting for my second class, it's like, okay, as opposed to the first class being who I recruit once I start the season, it'll be, okay, as a coach, I come in with 2 or 3 guys, maybe 4, that I actually recruited. And there's all kind of things you can do with it. But like I said, I'm using UT Arlington. There are other schools. I know Gardner-Webb was always a school you could use. I liked their jerseys. It was red, black, and white. I'm trying to think. There were some other crazy ones just off top. Northeastern, I think, because on 2K5 they had a 7-foot guy, and then John Aida. There's a lot of schools, you know. So if you want to find out each and every school, you'll go through, take the 8 worst players, put them in the top 8 positions, and then find out where the overall has to be for you to be able to choose them. Like I said, they're all small conference schools, so you can't take UCLA, make them booty butt cheeks, and then this will work for you. But you can go into like every single school. If you want to be an Ivy League coach, every single school. I think off the top, Columbia, Dartmouth. I think there's another 2 or 3 you can use. I know the MEAC has a lot of teams. The SWAC, the Southern. I tried Davidson. It wouldn't let me. I wanted to replace Bob McKillop and play with Steph Curry. It wouldn't let me. But yeah. So any questions, put them in the comment section. If you guys want to see me make more videos like this, like on college hoops, because I already have like little dynasties and stuff that I've uploaded on the channel. Go check them out if that's what you're into. But for those of you who didn't know this, yeah, do with that information what you will.